One of the things about our fundamentals series that people often, comment to me about using them both in their private and their professional lives is that they're not difficult to understand. You don't need to be, shall we say, a rocket scientist to understand what they mean. But some of these fundamentals are very difficult in the moment to think of and to, I suppose, develop and to be able to, on a consistent basis, perform. And fundamental number 25, use facts to decide, for me, is probably the most difficult fundamental. I sometimes can be emotional, and I've done better over the years to get the emotions in check. But in the moment, sometimes I can start to type out an email based off what I just read in an email, and I don't have the facts. And I'm not letting the facts decide what we're trying to ultimately achieve here. And sometimes I might have made decisions on things further down the road, or in the previous few weeks or months, or even worst case scenarios, years, that were based in facts. And now I'm operating on emotions. Now I'm responding to a situation that I shouldn't be responding that way. And I see it every day in the field and on in our office, where we don't use facts to decide. We start to use emotions. We start to use opinions. We start to look at that's what he or she said, rather than digging into the facts to understand what is actually happening here, what is actually the scenario here. And I think that's why we put this a fundamental towards the end. It's second to last at number 25, because using the facts to decide means slowing down. It means understanding exactly what's happening here, and then having a collective decision or an individual decision that's based in fact. And that is, again, hard to do at the fast-paced environment that electrical contracting construction is. Sometimes you need to get things done. You're on the phone, you make a decision, you have an opinion on something that later then would be changed because if I'd have known that piece of information, I wouldn't have said that, right? And that tends sometimes to slow down. We don't always have to respond to things in the moment. It's okay to say, hey, I need to have a little bit of a consideration on this one. I need to get and dig into this a bit more to understand the facts. That's an okay scenario. We can't obviously go slow and then all the time, hey, let me dig into that. And then a week later you respond, or two days later you respond, right? You need to obviously work on communication, which is another fundamental, right? Respond quickly. So you need to kind of use 2 or 3 of these fundamentals at times to get to where we need to. But using the facts to decide ultimately means slowing down to get the facts. And that's where I find the difficulty is for me. I get things brought to me all the time. We have a problem. Here's the problem. Here's where I feel we should go with this. Whoa. Is that 100% true? That does not sound right to me. No, it is. I heard, she told me it was true, or he said it was true. And then you go dig into it. We'll go back and talk to him and find out, is that, where did he get his information, right? So we have to drill down to certain levels. Then you come back, and I tell you, about 70, 80% of the time, the story is different. The decision is now different because we have the facts.